Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. I am actually testing out the live stream feature using my cell phone, so this is why I did not invite anybody. And here I just want to talk about the tools that I bring with me when riding a motorcycle. And uh, there's been some changes since the last time I did my moto camping packing video, so I wanted to show you guys what what I have now. And to start, I actually have two of these now. They're called like battery jump starter packs, and the brand is Type S. So they're really nice because they have a flashlight. The new ones actually have this screen that shows how much battery you still have left. And I've charged my phone while camping with this battery pack. I could charge them at least twice. Also charging GoPro batteries. And I've jump started a car twice. This is new with this one. And you can also, for the old one, you can do wireless charging also with your phone. So I find them very useful. And they're heavier than the solar battery packs that I used to bring, but they can jumpstart like big cars. So, so that means that they can really jumpstart motorcycles. Although I haven't had to try that yet. I've only jumpstart an actual car. And over here, it's the same Dynaplug air compressor, and I also have, I don't know if you guys can see it. I'm kind of playing around with the camera angle too. And the thing is with live stream is that I'm not sure, I don't think I can edit it after the fact. And I didn't want to have to move the camera and show what I'm doing. So I have the tire patch kit as well inside the air compressor. And it's this nifty little tube. And the tire patch sticks. And just in case I don't know how to use it, I kept the instruction manual. Because honestly, I've only patched the tire a few times in my lifetime. Knock on wood. I try to avoid, those kinds of problems if I can. This air compressor, it's a very small air compressor. And I have aired my tires with these, but you actually need to let it rest after you, for example, airing out the front tire. You have to let the motor rest because it will overheat and then it's not going to work. It's not that it's broken, but it's such a small machine inside that it can't really pump air continuously, like multiple tires at a time. But it's really nice because it's so tiny. You can connect it to your battery via the clamp, the motorcycle battery, or if you have the you can permanently connect this connector to your battery and always have it ready. But I actually have, I don't know what this contraption is called. I always forget. But the cable thing, and then you have I always forget what it's called. Like, I don't have the names for half the tools that I have. It's like, I know what they look like, and I'm like, that's what I need, and I buy it. This one, you can permanently connect it to your battery if you don't have it. Those repair kits are for tubeless only. I think so. I have inner tubes on my 701, but the 750 is tubeless. And yeah, because they're asking if it's for tubeless only. SAE, thank you. Thank you. Yeah, SAE. So I already have one installed on my bike. So this is actually extra. And okay, this is just an extender. And there is an actual, is it called the DIN or the plug? If you have that, the receiver on your bike, you just plug it in like a cigarette lighter. I think it's called a DIN. Yeah, so that's that hasn't changed. It's been useful for me. I've used it, and like I said, I have to be gentle with using it. I can't like kind of abuse, let the machine overheat, or I'm not sure how long it will last. But so far, it's been working. And then moving on, before I go into the actual tools, I ended up rounding up some fuses because one of my subscribers, Jonas, he actually has a good point. They're very cheap, they're lightweight, and if you blow a fuse, it's so easy to replace them. So I have a bunch of different size fuses for the bike. So I have a 7.5 amp mini fuse, a 10 amp fuse, regular fuse, and a 10 amp mini fuse, regular 7.5 amp fuse, a 40A fuse, and these ones are expensive, but I don't think you can find it in any store because I went to 3 auto stores near where I live, and I don't live in the boonies. I live in a pretty packed city, and it was hard to find them. All these other ones were easy to find, but I had to go to different places to find the 40A max fuse. They're always out of stock. Of the fuse cases, pick up. Oh, like change the small. Yeah, that's true. I should get an organizer. That's really what I need. I kind of just picked from my last trip. I literally grabbed the fuses and then headed out on my trip. So I didn't have time to change, try to organize them. But actually today I do have time, so I should do that. But instead I chose to practice this live stream video. This tire thing is actually part of this, tire pressure is actually part of this kit. I actually have another tire pressure reader that I like better. It's the slime electronic one. I forgot to grab it. It's on my bike. Anyways, I think we are okay to move on to the toolbox. So let me see how I can show this to you guys. Maybe I have to like lift it up every time. The most important thing with these, even Husqvarna, I guess any European bikes, they like to use Torx Bits to remove stuff. So I do have a set of Torx Bits. I think the smallest Torx that I have here is a T10 all the way to which one is this? T55 to remove like the big engine bolts and such. And you can actually use the Torx bit to remove big hex bolts as well. So you don't need to bring the Torx and the hex because they will fit. When I changed the crash bar, the Touratech, I think Touratech crash bar, when I changed the Touratech crash bar, it's actually not a Torx head, it's a hex, but yeah, this is a lot of stuff. I think, it was a big hex bolt, but I was able to use a Torx head to remove it for the crash bar on the Touratech crash bar when I was installing it. And I decided to, instead of bringing a 1/2 inch wrench or a 1/4 inch wrench, I actually only have 3/8. So I have a 3/8 shorty. And another thing that I don't have here, it's funny because I just have it outside on the bike, and these things are on another bag. So when I grab it, I grab this bag, but I actually bring a lever extender. It's just a tube. It's just a long tube, and I put it here so I can have more leverage. So that one is also outside. And I also have a 3/8 torque wrench that's this long. That's also outside. But I have those too. Yeah, I know I bring too many tools actually. I seem to have bad luck if I don't bring any tools. That's when things happen. So I'm super paranoid and I just always bring them with me. I don't know why, but lately if I don't bring tools, something goes wrong or I just regret it. So it's just better to bring it. Okay, so I have a hex 12 key. Now you guys are gonna be like wondering like what the hell. The reason I have certain size what do you call this, tools, certain size tools, is because I have used them on the bike, and then I realized I should keep that in my toolbox because I won't be able to access this if I don't have this. So I only have one of the hex 12, and honestly I forgot what I used it for, but if I put it here, I'm pretty sure I had used it recently, and so that's there. And this is, when I'm talking about, is mostly for the BMW. I haven't taken the 701 on a bunch of trips because it's really uncomfortable. Although I am going to train myself to like riding a 701 on longer trips again, just because it's easier off-road. But most of these tools were packed here because of the BMW. But they kind of share the same tools actually. The only thing they don't share so far that I found out is the axle tool. The 32 is for the 701 Husqvarna, and the 34 is for the BMW. So this, it would be nice to actually have the big socket wrench because it's easier. But when you're out there, if you just have this and you have that long lever that I'm telling you about, it's like a big steel lever. You can actually remove it because it will fit in here, and then you just pry it. Yeah, I can't really just use my hand, you know, I'm not that strong. And what I also bring with me is, because this is a 1/2-inch drive, I bring an adapter. So this adapter is 3/8, it goes on the 3/8 wrench, and then from the 3/8 it goes to here, so they all connect, and then I use the big lever to help myself. And you would always need, or I would always need, because some nooks and crannies you can't really just put the actual bolt and wrench, so I use a lot of extensions. So I actually have a long one and a medium one, and sometimes if I need it longer, I just put them together, and that works really well. Another adapter I have a lot of adapters, because they're on the little areas, like for example working on the dash and anything on that area, they're all small tools. So typically you would use a 1/4 inch drive, like the smaller wrench, but of course I don't bring that, so I use the adapter, I put it here, and I use the little these sockets, normal sockets. I wish I have like a pop-up, you know, like somebody that can read my mind, like that's what it's called, because I forget. I taped it because it keeps falling off the container, and I didn't want to buy a container just to hold them, you know, so like I have blue tape, I just tape it over. If I need it, I take it off. Oh, yeah, they're very heavy. They are very heavy. I actually hate taking them with me, but like I said, if I don't take it with me, then something happens. Like it's like a jinx. But I wonder if I have a weighing scale. I can actually roll it up and weigh it. It's pretty heavy. I think I'm gonna guess 20 pounds, but Let's see, let's see. Actually, I'm curious now. I've never weighed it because I'm like, I'm pretty sure it's not gonna be heavier than a person. So that's gonna be okay because I am not carrying a passenger, so. But it's pretty hefty. This is definitely more than 10 pounds. Hold on. I have to zero it first. Let's see how heavy this thing is. Oh, it's actually less than 10 pounds. I'm not very good at, I guess I'm not very good at guessing weight. It's 8.5, 8.5 pounds. It's very deceiving. It feels like it's 20 pounds, I swear. It's 8.5. Let me see, let's try to do it this way. Maybe it's, nope. It is 8.5 pounds. Now I don't feel so bad. I've always thought it was 20 pounds. It's not that bad, it's 8 pounds. All these tools, and these are not mini tools, they're regular size tools because I already have them, and the mini ones are actually very annoying to use when you work on the bike often. So what I have been doing is I do have a bigger toolbox, and when I work on the bike I bring this out and I actually use mostly tools that's already here just so I get used to them. But when something is really like annoying, then I use the bigger tools. But most of the time, I would say 95% of the time I get away with just using this. Especially when I have the lever, it fixes everything. It makes everything really easy. I can't remember another thing, but I needed a 3/4 wrench. Yeah, this is really bad. I don't remember why I needed them, but I have used this on one of the bikes, so I'm keeping it here. And I have doubles also. So this is a ratcheting, what do you call this? Like box wrench, ratcheting box wrench. I have a double of a, what size is this? 13. I remember this one I used for the Touratech mounting bar actually, because there's a bolt and a nut, and then for me to get in there, it was easier to just have this like this and then go up under the bike without removing the panel. And then from the top I have I either use this with an extension or another wrench, like a regular wrench. So that's why I have a double of that, because if you have to refill or change your coolant, you will need to remove the crash bar. You can't do it if you have a tank on the 750 or 850 GS. Once you install a tank crash bar, you're gonna block that area where you refill the coolant. So in order to do that more easily, it's easier to just remove or loosen the crash bar on that side, which is it's on the right side. Yeah. So, and the magnet tool, I've used this so many times. Okay, maybe you guys know, or maybe this is just trash, but this came with the BMW tool bag. What is this? Do you guys know what this is? How come I don't know? I don't know what it is, and everybody I have asked, they also don't know. So yeah, if you guys know what this is, let me know. I'm just keeping it in here. And this also came with the BMW tool bag, and I like it because it's both a flat and Phillips, and very useful. So I have that. let's see, I have wire cutters because I zip tie a lot of things, so I also bring a bunch of zip ties with me. Wire cutters and pliers have been very useful to me too, so I do also bring pliers. And I have a Sharpie, and I rolled duct tape over the Sharpie. So if I need duct tape, I do have a good amount in there. And also, as a double, I do have the, I don't know what this is called, but it's like, you know, like a handle, and then you change the heads, and you can put different heads like these little things. So they're basically just doubles of my Torx setup, but they're smaller. So I have small hexes because of that. So I have the 2.5 hex all the way to the 5, which when you're dealing with electronics on the bike, you would use the smaller pieces too. So that's that, like the GPS mount, etc. And then I also have, I do both actually. That's why I was, I guess my videos are produced, how do you say that? Like I have a bunch of videos coming up, and we have been riding off-road, but I got into motorcycling mainly to commute. So primarily my point of getting a motorcycle was I sold all my cars so I can commute and save gas. And so that means commuting for me, like on the highways and streets, they're paid. But then, because since I got the GS, I found that a lot of people were taking them off-roading, and I was like, oh, that's pretty cool. So even though they're heavy, you can do that. So I am starting to learn how to do that, but it's very scary. I'm still like, I'm scared to do it. I mean, I go and do it. I'm very slow because I don't want to drop the bike, but it's possible. I'm doing that more because it's not, how do you say it? Yeah, sometimes having a hard time thinking. Right now, I am more interested in exploring nature, not so much other cities, because when I used to travel abroad, I like exploring cities because the culture is different. But here it's America, it's America, it's America. It's all the same. So visiting another city doesn't really interest me. But America has a lot to offer in terms of nature and outdoors. And to be able to visit those, you need 4x4s half the time. And or like the motorcycle that you can ride off-road. So many tools. Oh no, you know the chat on when I'm using this instead of a computer, the chat disappears. Oh, I don't do really. Let me see if I can actually pull up the chat. Yeah. So we do go into the wilderness where there's nobody, and yeah, I guess you guys will see. I have a few videos coming up, and this is why, again, it's really good to bring tools when you're out there. So anyways, I have the what do you call this, like wire stripper. I used to just not bring it, but then I end up cutting the wires instead of just stripping it. So I just bring the stripper with me as well, just to avoid damaging it. And obviously these wrenches, I have a bunch of sizes all the way to, I have 1/4 wrench, I have a 7, 8, a 10, and 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, let's see what else. I have two tents actually. I, and then sorry, I'm trying not to miss the chat, but I was like trying to. I also have blue thread locker because if I undo any of the big bolts, I like to like thread lock it back up. And super glue. I just put them in plastic bags in case they explode. I don't want it to super glue my tools together. So I have two super glues in here and then a thread locker. And let's see. I think I didn't talk about this yet, but the Motion Pro bead breaker, I actually didn't, I haven't used them. I bought it to bring on a group moto camping tour I did a while back. There's a few of us like, oh, they bring this, I bring this, you know, so less people, sorry, not less people, less tools per person, which is nice. So I brought these. These are actually the, I'm not sure why, if they are aluminum, but they're very light. They're super lightweight. But I haven't needed to use them yet. Oh. I think I covered everything. I'm gonna have to like click on the chat to see if I miss anything. Does your bike use tubes? I thought I answered that question. So the GS, the 750 GS is tubeless, but the 701 is tubed. It has tubes. Oh, and a measuring tape. I think that's it. I don't know if I am missing tools that I should be bringing. So far, I have everything that I have needed. But if you guys have recommendations in either in like trying to lighten the toolkit or switching it up, I'm open to those suggestions because I'm learning about these as well. You know, I'm no expert. Let's see. Toothless Repair Kit. So this repair kit that I think it is for tubeless, the one that looks like a bullet. I think it is. I have to check online because I bought it on Amazon a long time ago, but I can't say for certain that it works only for this or for that because I don't remember at all. Like I don't remember which one it is. Yeah. I'm gonna sit closer so I can actually see if I missed any of the questions on the chat. But that's all I have for this presentation, I guess. Let's check here. Sit closer. If I miss any. Yeah, you are right. That's why I am making it my practice to just use this tool because that's why it keeps expanding because the more the bike needs and then the more things I find out this has to stay here because I keep using this tool and etc. etc. Let's see, what is this? I'm just gonna go through the chat to make sure I answer. Yeah, do you have some for some for I don't know if I could say your name out loud. Yeah, I do need help with that. If I can lessen what I'm carrying, if you can like in the comments, you know, if you have time, just say which ones I can get rid of. That's what I want to say. It would really be helpful because it's really nice to not carry so much tools. Like when I first started riding, I just ride the bike, you know, because I don't really go too far. Like when I first started, obviously it's just commuting. I go from here to work to, you know, errands and stuff. But then once you're actually out riding, especially if you're off-roading and then you keep falling, you know, uh, you start to need to use the tools more often. Get rid of this. And yeah, so yeah. Actually, the funny thing is that the funny thing is that because my tools are getting heavier over time, I am packing less of the other stuff, so it kind of evens out. But if you guys have any suggestion on what I can nix from this toolkit, I would really appreciate it. And thank you so much for being here with me on my first live stream presentation of the tools I bring with me when I'm riding the motorcycle. And I will see you guys on the next video.